Hey, so, excuse the squinting. I look like, frankly, my dear. But it is because I can't see, so I have to squint to make out what I'm seeing in front of me. I started this video because I read a comment, not in one of my videos, but in another, in a tarot reading actually, because I'm an avid tarot watcher or listener. I listen to them while I'm doing other stuff, but they're all general readings. It's not like personal readings, but I find that whatever the spiritual world has to tell me, is usually delivered by one of these vehicles with one of these vessels, these tarot readers, and you have to place a lot of importance in the resonating. What resonates with you, that's for you, and what doesn't is not for you. So after listening to so many of them, you kind of get a general idea, a law of averages, if you will, of your story, because it kind of repeats through all the readings anyway. So you find out basically what it is that you eventually find out what it is that you need to do in terms of the spiritual, or whatever, because everything begins and ends with spirit. So that's it's silly that as humans have been convinced that the fact is otherwise, which is that the material world is the real thing, and then everything else is fictitious and crazy, which makes no sense, because everything that is created started in the mental. So that's why it's important that that you feel good. And when I read this comment, you could get a sense of this person that she was complaining about, and it broke my heart, because she was complaining about how life has been very unjust. And that made me very sad, because here's a person who is misunderstanding the symptoms. And if you misunderstand the symptoms, you're misunderstanding the root cause of the disease, or of the illness, if you will, because it is an illness. Honestly, like I mentioned before, we're all angels with amnesia. They have convinced us that life is a certain way, and of course it's going to play out that way, because we end up believing in it. See, we are the co-creators of our life, so they're using this vehicle, my imagination, to create horrible things for myself, so I can go, oh yeah, they were right. You see what I'm getting at? So that I'm making these videos to kind of talk to people and be like, no, the story is another. Because ever since I can remember, any time that has been my life, is anytime I find out of something useful, and I have that particular bit of advice or I don't know, information that can make somebody else feel better, but not just because I'm lying to them or something like that. No, that I have the answer to their query, to their problem. And if I withheld it, what kind of person am I, right? No, but if I see them in need and I have the answer, I'm going to give it to them. But if I see somebody confused, or somebody who's seeing something erroneously, in the wrong way, in the wrong perspective, that I'm going to say something that's like, baby, you have to re-examine this thing, because you're getting it all wrong. See, a lot of crap has happened in my life, and if you do stand from the outside and you look at it, it's like, oh my God, and this guy still believes in God? But it is because I believe in God that I know that the strength that I've gathered, or that I've received, to still be happy and stand up and talk and Be blessed with abundance. Be blessed with health. Be blessed with time. Be blessed with freedom. Because after you go through all the work to get rid of all your conditioning and all the people who condition you and all the people who support the conditioning and all the people who hate you because you're getting rid of the conditioning, meaning you're acting weird all of a sudden. So after all of that, you're like, it's no wonder my life was a stress case. It was a hell because of all those other inputs. So what I'm saying, like I mentioned before, that your spirit is like a crystalline lake. But then, as usual, people who don't know any better, people who don't know a good thing when they have it, people have come around and thrown garbage into your lake. And pretty soon, it is covered in garbage that you don't even get a glimpse of that lake, right, or that pristine water. So then all of a sudden you start to believe that you are that garbage. But no, I'm telling you right now, that's just garbage. And you can take each item, reason about that item, and get rid of it. And move on to the next one. Reason with that item. Do you belong here in my crystalline lake? No, you don't. Out. Anything that doesn't bring you peace is not for you. It's not of God. Think about it. God is love. God is peace. God is a high energy, right? So we're dealing with the scum? No, right? It's the scum that's getting in the way, and we just need to get rid of it. And we don't do it in a violent way, like a lot of people like to make it seem like, oh, God told me that you all need to die. Like, whoa, first of all, that inner call, that's always a benevolent force. That is never going to tell you, to do something crazy, As I always joke, it's like Abraham, almost killed his own son, but it's because he was listening, he was hearing voices, so it took the angels to stop him. Oh, God told me that I need to sacrifice my firstborn. So nobody, you're hearing voices, man. Took the angels to stop him. But what I'm trying to say here is that you are the crystalline lake. You are the pure, wonderful, shining light. And again, it's just the crap that has gotten in the way has dimmed your light. You can't see your crystalline lake, right? Again, we get rid of all that crap so everybody can see your grandeur. So that means that a lot of the things that you consider natural in your life, they need to go because they're infected with that toxicity. You see what I'm saying? With that garbage. Again, but you're going to weigh it out. It's like, okay, which, again, like I always say, it's you have to take the, I don't think I've ever said this before, but it is along the same lines that I've always said, taking the path of least resistance is important. Because if you consider, see, when I say, weighing things out, is the one that makes you go, yay, it makes you feel excited, elevated, that's the option that you should probably pick. If I were you, I would. But the one that makes you go like, no, that's not the one. But society wants to tell you, no, that's the one because, hey, if you're a responsible citizen, you have to do that. If you're a man, you have to do that. If you're a real woman, you have to do that. If you're an American, all that stuff gets in the way. This reminds me of the stuff that, things do, like sports fans will do, like you have to root for our team, and if you don't, you're a traitor, and it becomes this whole thing. It's like, can I just enjoy the game? It's basically that's it. Is that life is like this beautiful game that you're watching. It's like, oh wow, can I just enjoy life without all these rules, without all these, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like holy macaroni. All of a sudden, you don't have time to even view who you are or consider who you are. Your choice, for instance. What do you rather do? Do you just want to keep doing what you've been keep being told to do, or you just want to follow that inner call? Because again, if I were you, I would. Because that's the root. I've always been someone who doesn't deal with superficialities. The surface level stuff, I can't deal with that. It's just, to me, it's a waste of time. It's like when you throw dust in the air, there's people dealing with the dust, it's just, instead of going down, where did that dust come from? Oh, it came from the dirt down below, the root. So that to me, it's imperative to go to the root, and the root is your spirit. Everything starts and ends with your spirit, so anything else that is not of your spirit will make you feel off balance. Think about it. If God is love and peace and bliss and all these higher vibrational states, well, then when we're stressed, that's pulling us away. When we're worried, when we're angry, when we're pissed off, when we're vengeful, when we're doubtful, when we're afraid, it's so pulling us further and further and further away from what I call the penthouse, or those higher vibrations. Instead we end up in the basement, and it feels like it, and I call it the basement because of the way it feels. It's dark, desolate, and you can't do anything down there. There's no options, there's no future, there's just where you're standing, and it's just darkness. But it always takes just a little bit of light to illuminate darkness, if you will. And then you see forward a little bit more. I love the definition of this. I forgot who he was, but he was talking about a car that is, at night, driving at night, and he's just lighting up a few feet in front of you, And that's what faith is. You just got to keep having trust that the next few feet are going to be covered, and they are always covered. And this is why I'm making these videos, because when I hear people so confused and so, looking at life like they're being punished, and I've been there. This is why it's like, don't go there because I did that, When I hear stuff like that, I have to clarify it. And it's like, no, it's just probably because you're misunderstanding what's happening. Like I said, if you look at my life at the surface level, you could say, well, I can't believe this guy still believes in God after everything he's lost. But maybe I'm just shedding away what is not needed. Again, getting rid of the garbage, so that the pristine waters of my soul can be, shown, can shine, can be enjoyed, because again, if that is a good part of you, then maybe isn't that a good idea to kind of show it to everybody instead of hiding it, right? I mean, because when you think about it, we're all all of the time are always fronting some other kind of, always wearing masks, if you will, with your parents, with your boss, with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, with your cousin, with your friends, always wearing different masks, and it's like the real you is so freaking beautiful. Because of the garbage, you can't see it. So instead, we hide it. I'm showing what my waters are like. In fact, it's funny because, being such a avid Bruce Lee fan, I mean, not just fan, I admire the guy because of the way he saw life. He was a Sagittarius like myself, and he literally expressed himself kind of like I do, or maybe I learned it from him, obviously, because from hearing him speak so many times. But this philosophy, always going with the path of least resistance, with the flow, and I don't want to go into too much information, but it is only when you're relaxed that you can hit the flow. It is only when you're at this sense of peace that you can hit the flow. Because it's your mind at ease, your body at ease. What happens is you're in the right correspondence. You're in the right vibration. The cause and effect, the effect of the cause of you putting yourself in that position, that has the effect of spirit getting involved because you're up there. your mind is relaxed, your body is relaxed, and comes in, clicks on, spirit clicks on, and you hit the flow. The flow is a spiritual event. It's something where all of a sudden your body is able to do whatever it is required to do, and with ease. And you feel like somebody else is driving. This is why I love being a martial artist, being a fighter. Because it got to the point where I was no longer scared to trade with anybody, because I love being in the zone. So I put myself nice and relaxed, and I just went in there, like, just get hit. Because once you get hit, you forget about you're not afraid of getting hit anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes it's just like, just go out there and get punched, because all of a sudden it clicks you on into just being in the moment. And again, all of a sudden you're relaxed, your mind is relaxed, because, oh, I'm here again. Oh, this is where that happens. And then you click on, you're back on the 444, yep, on the clock. You're back on that flow. A flow is a spiritual event, but it only happens if you're up there in a high vibration, nice and relaxed, no stressed out that I'm gonna kill you. Again, sparring was so much fun when you go out there and you're just nice and relaxed, because you literally become a passenger. Like I said, you're just somebody else is driving. I mean, imagine, you're in heaven. I think that this is why Arnold referred to the pump as, well, you know how he did. But he was talking about being in heaven, basically. And when you think about it, the action of climax, that is being in heaven. And the Pope has already said that is a gift of God, basically. It's basically a heavenly gift. It's a divine gift. It's something that is so yours and so in your universe. And when you think about it, shoots up in vibration big time, that it becomes this eruption. It's not a bad thing. So see, again, because we've been misinformed, we see life in a whole, like I always call it, a lifeless way. It's gray, it's lifeless. But it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm here to tell you that if you find again that life has been unjust with you, you have to start paying attention. You have to start to figure out what the signs mean. This is your life. This is the lifetime where you make sense of all of that, of who you are, so you can unleash your spirit and finally live your purpose. Your purpose is not for you to commute. Your purpose is not to be somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's wife, somebody's husband. Your purpose is for you to express the inner call that has been ringing forever inside your mind and your heart. I can promise you find yourself in this moment going, I know that there's something important I gotta do, but I just don't know what it is. It's like I've forgotten what it is. It's what I make, my every video speaks about that. We're all angels with amnesia. And the faster you get accustomed to that fact, I think, obviously, the faster you're going to find that spiritual freedom that you're looking for, because essentially, that's what it is. It's like that golden Buddha hidden by all this debris, because somebody wanted to hurt it or steal it or, take from it. It was covered with all this debris. Nobody knew where it was until finally somebody was meditating by it and a little piece came out, as if the golden Buddha wanted to be revealed. So that person started taking pieces and started noticing there's something underneath. And he had heard about the legends of the golden Buddha being in the vicinity. Imagine, he's meditating there and all of a sudden the golden Buddha wants out. Spirit, 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 spirit. Spirit is this huge mesh. And we're just another knot in it. Another little strand in it. It's beautiful the way we extend and we mingle with each other's strands. It's so beautiful. And we can see that if we have crap in our perspective. So just remember how they named the doors by that statement that Jim, and I'm sure also the others read it as well, that said, when the doors of perception are cleansed, then we will see life as it truly is, infinite. Think about it and feel about it.